Welcome to Evolving Humans. I'm your host, Julia Marie, and this podcast is for visionary people who are exploring the true nature of reality and want to contribute to the global awakening. You seek to deepen the connection to your multidimensional self so that you can live a more conscious life. Have you ever wondered if the universe is intelligent? Listen to this story, because only a highly organized, aware consciousness could possibly have been at work here. I had a couple of dreams about snakes. In fact, the two of them came in the same week, and since I don't remember too many of my dreams, and I'd had these dreams that I did remember, I knew Spirit was trying to tell me something. I couldn't shake the feeling that I needed to dive into what these dreams were trying to tell me. And finally, a few weeks later, I had the opportunity to share the snake dreams with a group of dreamers. In the first dream, I'm in the backyard of a house I am not familiar with in waking life, enjoying the beautiful, perfect day. The sun is shining, there's a gentle breeze. I'm sitting in a reclining chair when I notice to my left a gray and black snake, about 2 feet long, moving through the bright green grass. It looked like a garter snake except for its unique coloring. I knew it wasn't poisonous. The second dream came a few days later. I'm in the basement of my house when I see the same snake. I wake up. Some of the projections made by my fellow dreamers were very helpful and led to me making some broader connections with other things that were happening in my life at the time. Turns out these snake dreams are connected to the recent trip I talked about in the last episode. And there was the waking life snake skin I found after the 2 snake dreams. Keep in mind, I didn't link the dreams of snakes with the waking-like discovery of a snake skin. It was only after one of the other dreamers made the observation that I could see the clear connection. And this is one of the reasons I encourage people to gather in groups and work their dreams. Because often, no matter how carefully observant we think we are with our spiritual awareness, we miss much more than we notice. I've shared the dreams with you. Now let me tell you what happened with that waking life discovery of a snakeskin. In the beginning of September, I took my car in for its seasonal checkup and oil change. With winter coming, I prefer to be prepared, and knowing my car is in good working order helps me feel secure. On the trip into town, I had a whispery, soft thought fly through my mind, and I knew it was coming from Spirit. Tell them to check the battery. It registered, but I ignored it, assuming that checking the battery was part of the inspection. In retrospect, I should have said something to the mechanic. On the other hand, if I had, I never would have discovered the snakeskin. A few days after, I jumped in my car for my weekly trip into town. Click. Click. My battery's deader than dead. And I immediately chastised myself for not saying something to the mechanic a few days before. So I called a neighbor and we grabbed a new battery. When I opened the hood of the car, I saw approximately 4 inches of a dried snakeskin nestled in the front corner near the headlight. I gently teased it out. Turned out it was a complete snakeskin about 2 feet long, and I felt like I wasn't supposed to throw it away. So I took it inside and put it on one of the altars I have in my home. We got the new battery put in, and I didn't think much more about the snakeskin I'd found under the hood of my car. A couple weeks later, as I prepared for a podcast interview with my guest, Betty Kovacs, I really felt strongly to ask her about one of the visions she'd had that she recounted in her book, The Miracle of Death. After her son Pishti died, he showed up in a vision to encourage her to dance life in snakeskin boots. The message was for her to understand that just as a snake sheds its skin, so one day we shed the skin of this human body. And while we are here, it's all about living in the present moment. We are to forgive, let go, and move on. So snake was still insinuating its presence into my conscious awareness, but I had not yet made the connection between what until this point seemed to be disconnected events. It was almost as if snake was saying, "Don't forget about me just yet." All of these seemingly unrelated pieces came together during that dream circle in early October. I came away with plenty of insights to ponder. Someone said the dreams were a progress report from spirit and that snake medicine is moving from my dream world into my waking life. Another said I'm shedding my limitations. One person looked up my birth year and commented that according to the Chinese calendar, I was actually born in the year of the snake. One of the other dreamers said she felt these dreams were related to something that happened before I had the two dreams. That's when I had an aha moment. The trip I took to the West Coast that retraced the last 3 decades of my life. I knew the snake dreams were connected to the trip I'd made the moment she said it. Do I know what the message is that snake has for me at this juncture? I can't say that I do. But whenever I'm looking for a little clarity when it comes to animal medicine, I turn to Animal Speak by Ted Andrews. The keywords listed in that book for snake are initiation, rebirth, resurrection, and wisdom. In general, snake has long been a symbol of death and rebirth because snake sheds its skin as it outgrows it. This process of transmutation is also associated with a higher wisdom that comes with the passage of time. And the alchemists of old often believed wisdom and new knowledge would lead to death and rebirth, thus allowing the person to view the world from a new perspective. Although I wasn't consciously aware of it at the time, I now believe that snake coming into my awareness at this point in my life is letting me know I'm in transition. And as I move through this transition, snake tells me I need to be discriminating in all areas of my life. And snake is bringing a rebirth into new wisdom and creativity. Another piece of the message came in the interview with Betty and her vision of living life in snakeskin boots. I believe the snake dreams came to let me know I've integrated that part of my life, that I'm shedding whatever no longer serves me, and that I'm turning now to face what lies ahead. I didn't consciously understand the magnitude of this present moment. I'm grateful for the persistence of my dreams and the wisdom of my soul. Here's the lesson as I see it of this particular story. Although it may seem the events in our lives are discrete and disconnected, the reality is more likely that all of these seemingly discrete events are part of a contiguous whole. In other words, the dream snake is connected to my discovery of the waking world snakeskin under the hood of my car. These repeated messages, coming into my awareness with increasing volume from the infinite mind, speak to their importance. I feel I pay more attention than the average human being to what's going on in my life, but this experience taught me just how narrow, how compartmentalized my vision actually is, and that it's time for me to pay more attention to the interplay between the physical 3D world, the dream world, and the world of spirit. It's like taking a flat chessboard and making it multi-level. All of the levels are involved, not just each one as a separate plane of play. The other thing is, when it's really important, your soul will keep trying until you get it. You won't miss the necessary insights you need to carry you forward on your journey. You just need to be open to receiving them when they come your way. I shared this particular story with you because I want you to know that even 30 years in, you might still miss some things, and that's okay. So what did you learn today? Your world is far more connected than you know. Before I close, I want to leave you with this quote from David Hawkins, author of the book Power versus Force. Spiritual development is not an accomplishment, but a way of life. It's an orientation that brings its own rewards. We've come to the end of another episode, and I want to thank you for continuing to listen to this podcast. Please share this episode with 2 friends so that we can expand our reach and serve more people.